Welcome to No One Lives Under the Lighthouse. I was told to do this by the Discord people, the chatters in Discord, so I'm going to do this. I have to give a 5-minute recap of the last VOD, and then I need to somehow jump into a random point of this VOD. The last game that we played was... Let me see, I'm not going to do that. This is a game by a group called the Marvel Collective. And I found out about them from another game of theirs that they're making, actually, that I've been waiting for a while, called Zero Losses. That game looks very interesting. They're a small team, and let's see how this goes. But I've heard many good things about even their earlier title, No One Lives Under the Lighthouse. I've heard this game described as a much more slow burn game, so thank you, Chan, for telling me that. But again, no spoilers here. I'm really curious to see how this goes, and this is sort of the continuation of the Spooktober stuff, so... It's been a while since we've done this, so maybe some new people will probably not know this. I'm a screamer. Wow, that was fast. Okay, well, you can see my baseline heart rate. Learned online, it's a very high heart rate. So I know that's actually not a good heart rate to go with, but that's an issue I'm going to solve later in life. Sorry, fixing the volume. Yeah, there we go. Nice and crunchy. Nice and loud. Now, I've heard this game is very short. There's not really much to it, but... That's kind of all you really want. Like, it's... I find a lot of horror games tend to go a bit too far with the way that they play. They get very, What did I just fill this with? I can right-click the zoom. They get very... Whatchamacallit? Bloated, if that makes sense. Or they stay... Or they linger too long, and it's like, you... Hello? Okay, I'm not gonna bother opening that. Let's just leave. I'm sure that's just somebody safe. I'm sure that's fine. And so, sometimes you really just want a nice short experience to go through. And I've only ever heard good things about this. And I've been very curious about this because of the Lighthouse movie involving Willem Dafoe and I forget his other name. It's the dude that's not Zac Efron. That's also a teen heartthrob. They've always been interesting to me because you're in the middle of nowhere. You quite literally live on this island by yourself to take care of this lighthouse and the world around you. And there's nothing that you can do if you need help. And actually, there was a lighthouse recently within the States, or in Canada or something. It was like the last remaining one where the final keeper has finally retired. So there's now no more like manual human keepers. And so the lighthouse is now going to be just put up for historic purposes. Like, we still need them, but they're all automatic now. So the final keeper is gone, and now the tradition of keeping a lighthouse stable is done and over with. Sad to think about. Especially when you consider, you know, the significance of a lighthouse, the way that the light prevents you from dying. It's quite... Oh my... Why is it all cracked up here? It's our job now. Chat, why do you have 2 different accounts? You're just like my mod. I'm assuming you have 2 different accounts because you use one account for, say, your... whatchamacallit? Your PC or something. And your tablet. What do you mean? Chat, don't do that. You and I both know what I mean. I have to go into the basement, don't I? I was really hoping to avoid the basement, but I guess there's no real avoiding it. You have to go down. You have to deal with things down there. Oh, sure. Let's go down. This isolation is a bit weird. It's a part of a job that you don't really get anymore. There are very few jobs that have you isolated on your own now, it feels like. Many jobs, at least the ones that make enough for you to survive on your own, seem to be very focused on... Oh, hello? Why is there a person here? One account needs 2-factor auth and you can get it. Yeah, you're just like my mod. What? Should I be worried about this? if I like that. I do like how the ghost just kind of follows you at a very nice, calm distance and doesn't really care about you. What about what? Oh, see, yeah, sure. You don't see the ghost chat? I see it. But I've always wanted to work in a lighthouse or a fire watch. Just some place where you're isolated from society. And then you think about what could be there. And you worry about what could happen. Let's fill this up. Let's light this place up. Do my job. That is incredibly bright. Where am I shining this exactly? Oh, you know what? I guess I choose where I want to shine it to. But where would I shine this to that really makes a difference? You should watch the movie then that this game was inspired from. Is it The Lighthouse involving Willem Dafoe that I just talked about? Or is there another Lighthouse movie? Wait, there's 2 Lighthouse movies? It's the Willem Dafoe one. Yeah, I've seen it. That movie's a classic. This game was inspired by that movie? Really? That's funny. Oh, I get what this is. And then the bag of flour falls down to make the thing spin over time. I get what this is. Yeah, the movie worked for me. I thought the movie was very, very interesting because you have these 2 weird characters stuck in this place by themselves. And so all they can really do is just live their lives and try to stay sane the entire time. And then you know, the mermaids appear. Start talking to them. Do I go down here now? Try. Yeah, try is a good keyword. I get spoilers if you've never seen it, but that movie was always fascinating to me because of how they lived, basically. Because again, it's I mean, the cabin fever is real, right? And it always leaves you questioning, like, how much of that did they actually see and how much of it was there? You don't really know. That's the most fascinating part to me. Is like you still don't really know what that was necessarily. You get hints and pieces of it, but there's no clear like confirmation of anything. You just see the slow descent of 2 people trying to figure out how to survive among each other too, like really trying to survive with each other. It is funny that this is based off of the game, though. I mean, the movie, though. Unreliable narrative, exactly. Very unreliable. And that's what makes it so good, right? It's such a good horror trope, too, because most horror tropes sort of fall into the trap of, I think, being too explicit about things. Like, they're very, very... they do too much exposition about something, and so it ruins the mystique. And an unreliable narrator is one of the best ways to get this level of mystique and mystery. It worked really well in Signalis too, because in Signalis, your memories are sort of all over the place, right? It's fragmented. It's the past and the present colliding of who you were and who you are. And all these different like lifetimes. Whenever it works out well, you get this state of unknowing, where you're never really sure if what you saw was actually what you saw. And I like that about games. Especially horror games. I think it works well for horror games. Most horror movies just make you the third person between the victims and the ghosts. Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's funny, because you can even look at the parody movies, scary movies. Like the scary movie parody movie series, right? It's basically the same plot as most horror movies. But then you think of movies like I still think The Last Exorcism, the first one, was really good at being very vague. It didn't really give that much detail, and so what you saw was like, oh god, what's like going on? And then they dropped the shaky cam. And the one where the devil was finally born, and the last exorcism failed, and I was like, this is going off the rails now. Is this what it's like to be in a lighthouse? I guess so, huh? Oh. Wow. Goes out far. Hey, boat. I kind of forgot that there's a daytime to this. The previous keeper disappeared. Suppose ran away on a boat, left the duty of this, the bastard. Now there's no one on the island. Now there's no one on the island. But you look like you know the job, do ya? Do ya is a very American thing. Should light his lamps in the evening, and should keep it working till sunrise. You also should keep it clean all around, especially the lens itself. The establishment will find you an assistant soon, and I'll get back here in a week. Good luck. Don't lose your mind from the loneliness. But who is staring down at me? From the balcony. If I'm to be alone, who's there? You think lighthouses are a British thing? They're pretty everywhere, to be honest with you. They're surprisingly everywhere. I was saying particularly just the accent, the way that I said that. Like when you watch The Lighthouse, right? And you recognize that the other actor that's not Willem Dafoe, I keep forgetting his name, honestly. The guy who is Edward Cullen. And you remember that he was British in the first place, but he played as an American teen vampire. Nailed the American accent. And then Willem Dafoe is I think he's American too, but he nails the British accent. It's like, how do they do this? It makes you realize that like the acting and the voice acting overlaps are huge. And if the actors wanted to be voice actors too, they would absolutely nail it, because how the hell do you do so many good accents? It's hard. But I didn't expect to be replaced so soon. And clearly he's still there. Plus the thing that lives under the lighthouse too. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's an art form. It's a craft, right? The more dedicated you are to it, the more you'll be able to do it well. But I'm just always surprised and impressed by the level of skill that's displayed by actors, especially Ed Hardy, Eddie Hard. I keep forgetting his name too. The guy who plays Venom. He's British, and then you hear him rap. Doesn't sound like anything. Then he acts, and he does his own thing. There's BJJ, and then you hear him act as an American and as a British dude. It's like two different people. It's like, holy shit. He nails every single role. I think some actors genuinely love their career. You know what it is? I don't know how an actor couldn't. The fame is probably the most annoying part, I'm sure, right? But if you take the career like Willem Dafoe and his other star on that show, I don't want to say co-star because it feels demeaning, but both of those stars on The Lighthouse, right? They're both very understated. They don't do any interviews. They don't give a shit about public image. They just love to play act. That's it. And honestly, why wouldn't you? It's like, I don't know. You just get to play as a bunch of characters for fun. You get to do and say things and be whole different people. And it's like a flex too to be able to impersonate someone or to be someone. Oh my Jesus Christ. That's not terrifying. Imagine if you could play the entire day for your job and get paid for it, right? Acting is one of those weirdly dream careers that just happens to have a lot of what is this? It's like oil. It just happens to have a lot of prestige for some reason. Even though if you boil it down to its essence, it's just people pretending to be other people. It's because, you know, the art collective has successfully inserted themselves into the hoity-toity, right? Away from the hoi polloi. Which is great, because it means that, you know, people recognize it, treats it as it should be. And you get into this fascinating place where it's like, you know, you get paid well for it, to do what you want to do, and for the love of it. Acting was the dream career before mega famous gamer. I don't know if gaming is still necessarily a dream career, because like with gaming, right? There's a limit to this. You enjoy the process, but there's one thing that I find dissatisfying, in that it's a dead end for who you are as a person, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not really building any skills or getting better at anything by doing this, right? But rather skills that can transfer to different things. Not that you need to, oh god, not that you need to. But I recognize that like acting, that skill can go pretty far, and there's a huge depth between the lowest actor and the highest actor, quote unquote. If I could even deign to put like a hierarchy on the thing, right? Well, the gaming, it's like, dude, like anyone can play games, even like a 5-year-old child. So it's like, does it really feel any better? I'm not really sure. Couple that with the, I guess a lot of the ways that like esports and gaming streaming are two very different tracks in terms of what you need to dedicate and like focus on. And you get to a point where it's like, what you really need to figure out is how do you become more entertaining? And it's like, what does that mean? Right? Because entertainment is so vague in that sense. And so you're just sort of left this feeling of dissatisfaction. Because there's not really a growth to it. There's not really a way to get better at it. There's a clear difference between those at the bottom and the top, I'm sure. But that's the sort of... does it feel tangible when you get better at it? Not really. It's one of those weird dissatisfying bits of it. Even in esports too. I mean, at least in esports, like you can see when somebody gets better at it, right? And you can feel yourself getting better at the skill of playing a specific game. I would rather have that compared to, you know, just this. Like just playing games live on stream, it's like, sure, you can be like a mega gamer. But are you really, really feeling... Like, are you really improving at something? I'm not really clear. That's why I've always said, like, the streaming stuff for me is a hobby thing. It's a fun hobby, and it'd be nice to get paid for it, but... It's just a hobby. That's why I tell people don't sub to me, because I don't really care about it. I'm just here to have fun with it. Hey, key. There we go. That's terrifying. Oh. 4 keys. Because ultimately, it's like, I want to spend more time on other things. It's just like, okay, how do you spend the time and find the time? It's kind of why I want to work in a lighthouse. Because it's, you have all the time in the world. Are you really becoming more and more entertaining is really the poison that the streamer must drink from. Yeah, it's a poison, but it's also like a possibility too. It really depends on how you take it, right? It's so vague, so as to be like, you could be entertaining in the way that like a prank channel would be entertaining to some people. Or you could be entertaining as in like, you know, a comedian could be entertaining. Or you could be entertaining as in like an actor. Like there's so many different ways to take it. The one thing that's interesting is that it's a very vague form of entertainment with so much possibility in terms of streaming that you can take it anywhere. But because of that, it puts more onus on you really taking care to work on the track. Whereas I find with like acting, right? You can get good at acting, and you just get good at acting. And the only there's some differences between like stage acting and like, you know, screen acting, but At least when you get good at it, there's like a trackway for you getting better at it, and you can see it. You can see the tangible results of it. Oh god. Okay, let's just assume nothing's scary here. Let's just assume this is just a normal day out. Where's my gas can? It's locked. Just like a normal career. Yeah, exactly, yeah. It's kind of the blessing and the curse of streaming. It's very freeform, which means you can do anything with it. But it's very freeform, which means you have to do everything with it. And there's good and bad ways to improve in it. Whereas it feels like with... Ah! Most careers, you can focus on just a very... most careers, you can focus on getting better in a very specific one track. Wait, what the fuck was that? I swear it fell outside. But maybe it's because I haven't seen a good way of doing something yet. So maybe we'll get to the point where it's like I could stream and get better at it and be fun. In that sense. But I find it very hard to do so. I'm not really feeling it. There's not really many opportunities to play with the idea of it too. Is that the same song? What was that? I have no clue. I don't have the gas. Hey, I have it. It's weird that the gas can is here. What is that? We're gonna go down and see what it is. I know they said to take care of the lighthouse, but there are more pressing concerns now, I think. Probably nothing. Yeah, probably nothing. Just a little visitor to the island. Just a glowing alien middle of nowhere. But you know what? TED Talk is over. TED Talk is over. I've got to exercise some ghosts here, okay? Sometimes you need to stop the TED Talk early because you have more pressing things to deal with. Oh my god, that's right. Yeah, exercise. Like an exorcism. Like a ring fit. Hello? Why are you here on my island? What are you? What the? Oh! Oh, it's my suitcase! Oh, oops. Yeah, I guess I forgot to bring my suitcase. Oh, shoot. Well... maybe the ghost is designed to bring you back to your suitcase. Designed to help you, remember your lost goods. Let's just ignore that then. This is an interesting game. It's a very slow burn game, and it matches exactly the kind of pace that you'd expect from the movie, too. It's funny that the movie inspired this, because you can see the inspiration a lot, purely in terms of the pacing. That slow, steady burn. It's that melancholy and the calm before the storm, but you don't ever know when the storm is going to touch down. It's like living in a world without a weather channel, never knowing when to expect it all to fall apart. What is that? Why do I have a key? I have a token key. What is that? And why? What's weird too is that why is there meat here that was chopped and stew that was already here? This is something too. Like somebody lives here. I'm not the only one. Why else is there food here? And fresh food. I'm the new keeper. Last guy disappeared out of nowhere. And somebody lived there. Yeah, but like a long time ago. Not anymore. They're not here anymore. Maybe I'm getting the timeline wrong. Maybe I'm just imagining like a longer timeline. You think it's like a day ago? I don't know why in my head it's like he disappeared. Because there's no way that they find him missing after one single day, right? There's no way. It's been one day. You can't keep a lighthouse off for long. That's a fair point. That's a very fair point. I guess they would notice him missing then if it wasn't on missing day. But I would probably think, okay, maybe he's drunk out of his mind versus missing entirely. Though I guess that's why the guy in the small rowboat is able to row over, because he comes over to like check and make sure that he's gone or not. It is funny that that's my only source of entertainment too. Go to a bar or a pub in Bishop and grab the first guy you see drunk the hell out. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I do wonder what the qualifications for the job are, because it's not like it's a very complex job. But if something breaks, presumably you need to have some skill to fix things, right? It's not like you can just leave it. Like, you are the keeper of the lighthouse now. You have to take care of it. God, the door noises are terrifying. Okay. Job done. Nice. I did a good job. That's a good job. I'll just, call it there. Maybe we can go to the washroom or something. It's funny to think about this game in terms of entertainment too, because games kind of feel like that same way. For some, a game like this wouldn't be entertaining, and a game like Subway Surfer is infinitely more. But I enjoy this more than I do Subway Surfer. So what's the difference? I suppose if I think of it like that, then I suppose the avenues to be entertaining and streaming are so varied that I shouldn't even bother worrying about it. What do you mean? Fuck, this is scary. Jesus. Like a terrifying shed to be in. What was that? Did you hear that? What was it? I feel like I'm getting cabin fever. Did you hear that? I'm asking you! I'm asking you, chat. I don't know if I heard anything. This game has a way of like getting into your bones, under your skin. And it's scary too, because like in isolation, knowing that something is there, every little noise, especially in nature, nature noises sound weird. It's maybe, you know, millennia of evolution. To worry about a creature from the shadows waiting to strike. Only to never realize that we live in a society now. It's only the only thing in the shadow is just a person waiting to hand you your Uber Eats delivery because you ordered at 2 a.m. at nighttime. Like, here's your Subway sandwich, sir. And you scream loudly, so loud that, you know, everyone wakes up. And you start to wonder to yourself, what's wrong with you? That's never happened to me, but... You were in a light. If you were in the lighthouse alone at night, you would just break down the first night. Weak. You weren't made. You weren't made for this. I was born for this job. Molded by it. There's a good. I guess like it's an interesting experiment, right? Because some people do really well with the isolation. Some people do really poorly. I wouldn't mind the isolation. I would just be terrified in many different ways. Like, I wouldn't want to leave. I wouldn't be afraid, necessarily. I wouldn't be, bothered by it, necessarily. It's just the fear that would get me the very same, I think. But as soon as night falls, yeah, as soon as night falls. I suppose that's why you probably need to have, whatchamacallit? That's why you have the lighthouse. Why you should keep it on at all times, right? I should maybe have been at home. It's weird to show the boathouse. Who dragged me home? And why am I covered in oil? Oh my god, I'm covered in the oil. Tapping all over again. Always the oil. This explains a lot about the oil then. Like the oil trails and where I'm going and stuff and why you're there. Oil up. Hey, it's my cabin. Hey, got that shit. It's my cabin. What's interesting is that the oil here is gone. In fact, the oil here was interesting because it looked like it was moving off the cliff. So it gives more context to the oil trails. There was oil trails over there between the rock patterns. Oil trails over there. Oil trail over here. It's wherever the old keeper went. Hey, get off here. It's my food. Get out of here. Go. Damn seagulls. Get out of here. The food. Ah! The fuck? Get out of here. It's weird how calming this game is, and it just has those small moments. What happened over here? But I see why you said, and I see why even the Steam review said it's a very slow-paced game. Oh my god. This isn't my oil. Oh my god. It's not my oil. But it's exactly what you want from a game like this. You want this pace. I find when things move too quickly, you reach a level of certainty too soon, right? It's when things are going super slow that you're able to deal with the level of uncertainty that makes you wonder what's going on. Is it oil or is it water? I'm going to say oil because I'm sure during this time period there was an abundance of it. It's that or whale blubber. There's really only two things it could be. Oh, you can't run forever. I should put this into the machine after. Into the chest. Sorry. Where is my can? My can of thing. Wait, where's my can? I leave my can upstairs? Are you kidding me? What? What was that? These people don't know how to organize for work. You would think they would keep their tools close to them so they could immediately move towards doing something. What was that? Oh! Ah, I can clean the oil. Wait, this is good. Oh, my vinyl is breaking. Now it's all crusty now. Hey, look at, oh my god, there's oil everywhere. What the? Oh, it's disgusting. Who would defile such a place? Say you were a ghost, right? And you want to scare somebody? Would you make it so obvious? Or would you maybe have some... What's on the rooftop? Or would you make it a bit more unknown over a longer period of time? Because the only thing that could put oil on top of a lighthouse is probably a ghost. And it makes you wonder, right? Because the purpose of a lighthouse is to guide things. It's to bring things to safety. Why are the birds so loud today? So why is it that it was all mucked up? I think it's to let them know that you're there. That's just a bad ghost. Oh, dear God. That's not good. The bag broke. Everything broke. We're gonna ignore that. Listen, I can't really fix that. But we do need to fix the sack. We need to do a bunch of things actually. There's something on my rooftop. We need to fix the sack. Put the coin into the chest. Oh god. It was here the entire time? Wait, it wasn't there before? It wasn't there before. I would have known if it was there before. It would have been obvious, no? Clean your house? It's no need. The oil makes me sleep better at night. The less oxygen you have in your household, the better you sleep at night. There we go. Get a nice sack of thing over here, I guess. Sure. Get some rope. This candle is done. That's not good. %99 nitrogen. Yeah, exactly. God, this is creepy. Because you know that something's there, but you're still unsure of what it is. It's that broodiness. It's that moodiness. That quiet. It's that emptiness. It's such a good masterclass in how to use a negative, which is like empty space, empty time, emptiness, to form an emotion that's a positive on your gameplay. Sense of dread. Yay. Don't bother me, oil monster. I'm just here to fill up the machine. I want to keep the lighthouse running, okay? Just don't bother me. Please don't scare me. Yet this doesn't seem like a very smart move to do. Why not tie the bag, the sack to the rope, and let the rope go to the bottom? Emptiness to feel more insignificant against the horror. Yeah, exactly. It's significantly harder. What was that? I need another one? Anyway. God, the door glitching out doesn't help either. The graphics glitching out really doesn't help me. Yeah, now I'm like nervous. I feel like I'm feeling things. I'm seeing things. Like I'm seeing shapes appear, but I don't know if it's me or if it's the game in it. Such an effective tool to use emptiness to convey everything. What game? This is real life streamer. You're playing. You're there. You're on the lighthouse now. Oh god. What's scary to think about too is that if the oil isn't me, then the trail leading to my bed, it was staring at me the entire time. Which says something. You're coping from your new job of being a lighthouse keeper. Imagine, do you think people who are Firewatches play Firewatch? And they expect like a Dahlia or like their own what's her name? And then do you think people playing that game think that they're in like a conspiracy theory? And do you think lighthouse keepers play this game? Just stay in the stairs, cover your back, make sure no one knows that you're there. Another one. This is the... Really? Why did we build this? Why did we build everything so far away from the lighthouse? What was the point? What was it? Oh my fucking god. Oh my 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 god. I need to go inside the house. I need to go inside the house. Oh, I get it. It's like tank controls. Sorry, chat. I have to run. It's a monster. Okay. Get in the house! Oh my god, get in the house. Please get in the house. I just want to go inside the house. Is it that complicated? Yeah. What the hell was that? Hello, chat. I'm on my new job now, where I need to escape from whatever the hell that thing was. These do get annoying. Yeah, I get the point of the tank control. Well, I get the point of controlling as a third-person character. I don't know if a tank control works out well. The tank control feels a bit more frustrating than it does actually scary. Because the first time it's scary, every subsequent time it's annoying. What was the type of game where you type things to do / guess? Cryptmaster. Yep, yeah, it's Cryptmaster. You shouldn't die in horror games. Where I don't know if you shouldn't die. I think you should be able to die as a consequence of things. But dying has that effect of you do cheapen the horror and you're no longer afraid. It's just a problem with games where it's like, how do you have consequences in games and you keep the intensity of the horror going? Because if you couldn't die and the player is aware of that, it no longer becomes scary too. So you need some way to keep the intensity going. It's just an unsolved problem, right? Because in real life, if a monster chases you and you can't get away, that's scary because you're going to die. In a game, it's all about the illusion. It's unfortunate that the illusion fails. Dying like 6 or 7 times really lessens the horror. Yeah, it does. But then maybe you should die, but you get like a worse ending or something. I don't know. But I feel like you can't get rid of the consequence. You need the consequence there, but you also need to somehow. Maybe it's just immersion. You know what it is? There's no easy answer. I'm gonna say. I can't believe I forgot the oil. It works the first time, for sure. But yeah, like if it was SAO and you die in the game and then you die in real life, I'd be a lot more terrified. Wait, chat, how come you just don't use Google to be like, what was the game where you type things to do/guess? Actually doing that, you might even find a better game. Not that Cryptmaster isn't a good game, but you can find even more. Alright. I'm gonna stay up here. Maybe that's how you went crazy, actually. You stay too long in a lighthouse and you get a little bit, you know, cabin fever. Maybe you should go back home. Oh, you didn't find it that way. Yeah, let's just go down. Let's trust the process. I'm sure it's safe. I'm sure it's safe. I didn't pull it up yet. It's a very simple job, but I keep forgetting certain steps. Because I'm so focused on staying alive almost. Why don't they have your family live with you? I imagine it's like the same reason for other things, where it's like they only send you the one person from a family. That way, the entire your entire hierarchy, your entire family bloodline lineage doesn't die, and only you would die. Okay, say the lighthouse fails and a boat crashes into the lighthouse, right? Then what do? Well, you're just dead. But at least, you know, your wife is still alive and your parents are still alive. Like, everyone can still live their lives. Get in the elevator. Searching typing game where you get/do things gave you Semantle and GeoGuessr. It's because they know that you're a DLE dev. Google has tailored the search results to match people like you. And DLE devs only play other DLE games, right? It's just a way of things. What do you do while it's running, actually? I guess you just live your life. Too bad you can't find your DLE game on Google. You just need to send it to Northern Lion. Send it to Northern Lion. Be like, hey, I made a DLE game. Say you made it for him, even if you didn't make it for him. Once he plays it, it's gonna go on to the top hits. I guarantee you. That's the way you do it. Maybe I'll stay. Oh, yes. Does he like cars? I don't think there's a single thing that he doesn't like besides his chat. I don't think there's a single thing he actually doesn't like besides the chat. Good, we're clean now. That's unlikely, but you think because it's hard to support a family over your lighthouse job alone. Oh. These were different times. When they had these things running, It was a time when you could, you know, feed a family off of like a single dollar. You could go buy milk, a steak, ground. Jesus Christ, that's kidding me. A steak, and even like a backpack for your child, off of a single dollar. Like, you see this? This meal of a bun, a loaf of bread, left outside to be stale, and a slice of meat that I haven't touched in a couple days. That's kind of nasty. $2. Daily wage, $8. House, $16. Mercedes. I don't think you could buy it during this time frame, actually. Ford supercar, $48. Boom, you're in. I really don't want to go back outside. Time to go to a meeting. Good luck, chat. Okay? Can you tell me if the meeting was worth it? I'm doing an unofficial survey to see the meeting effectiveness of companies around the world. Tell me if the meeting was worth it, or if you feel like you were scammed. Designer with 10 devs. Hey, designer, what do you think about this? Okay, cool, great. Okay, bye. Okay, next 50 minutes. Okay, we'll just talk about what we're doing. Like, it really makes you wonder, what's the point? You know what I mean? Like, what's the point of having you there? My designer was the same way. She was like, why am I here? And she's like, I don't know why I'm here in these meetings. So I cut her loose, and I was like, you're free now. And she was like, thank you. You literally just say 2 words every meeting. But what's funny is that you don't even have to listen, right? If you don't have to listen to the meeting, you can just stay and chat here and talk to me. But do you need to keep your eyes facing forward? They do say, what was that? It's a fly. What the hell? Why am I still here? Hey, what the hell is what's going on? No. Oh no. Oh my god. 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 What is that downstairs? Oh no. Oh no. I gotta get out of here. Oh god. That explains the cracks in the windows. I was wondering why the windows were cracked. But it makes you wonder, how does a butterfly have enough strength to even do this kind of damage to it? Hello? Hello? I don't want to be here anymore. It's actually moths. Sorry, I don't know my my insect families. All I know is the difference between a beetle and a butterfly. That's it. Everything else falls into those two categories for me. To me, everything is a beetle or a butterfly. There's really no difference between the two. To me. Thank you for actually copying the message. Okay, well, we cleaned up. Crossed God is still with me. God is still with us. We're still good. God is still with us. We're gonna be fine. You know what, chat? At least they do ask you what you think about in the meeting, right? At least they value your opinion in the meeting. Whether or not that's good, I don't really know. I've never gone to the toilet once. I'm dying from blood poisoning due to my bowels being backed up and constricted. There's an infinite amount of shit in my pants. Where's the key? Huh? Well, I guess I go do my other tasks for today, I guess. I can think of a few things to do. Clean up the place, get these dirt piles dug up. Should be a dirt pile over there too, on the farthest point. And the soil is easy to dig because it's wet. It's loose soil. Oh my god. It's just like the movie. Start digging, boy. Is it? That's what he says. There's something about the way that Willem Dafoe says it too that makes you go like, oh fuck. Like he means serious business. God, I love that movie. It's shot in it's only available in like 480p or like 320p. There's something about that movie that's so good. Dude. Oh my god, not again. Where do you even go? Run, boy, run! Get to the cabin! Where's the cabin? Fuck it! Juke it! We have to juke the monster. Good juke, son! Skip the chest? No, continue. Let's just see where you're supposed to go with this. Like, what are you even supposed to do to escape the monster? I never like skipping things because I want to see and experience what exactly the game intended for you to do here. Huh? Huh? Wait, you can permanently outrun the creature by going left and right. Yeah, this is probably the weakest part of the game, actually. This is the weakest part of the game. Because as the monster churns, it gets slower. I don't know how I feel about those segments. This game is very loud too. I'm just gonna lower the volume like a smidge. That particular segment, I feel like is the weakest part of the whole game. It's weird because it's like, I think they had the game with just the atmosphere of you being stuck here doing God knows what, taking care of a lighthouse. They didn't need a monster to chase you to add any more flair to it. They just needed you to be you out here in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, you did tell me it was the worst part, but like I just didn't expect it to be that bad. Like I get what they were going for, right? They were going for like that sudden horror, but you know what it is? It feels like they were unsure of whether or not the concept would work. Like just the raw concept of you being someone who's here in the middle of nowhere. I didn't take up all the other things. Trying to find stuff to live in a lighthouse. Did I mess up and get the wrong thing? That's what it feels like. It feels like they were afraid that players wouldn't enjoy it, so they added in the chase sequence. But they still wanted it to be with their own flair. But it's like, they had something. You know? Don't be afraid to go slow. Or maybe they genuinely thought it'd be interesting. Because it's like, oh, you have to like run... Because you have to run from the monster, right? But it is hard to do it in a way that feels good. It's primarily because it's so unclear. Like, it's immediately unclear how you play it, so your first couple times, you always die. Because it's so unclear how you control yourself in those moments. And because you die immediately, and you're not sure if this is like a cutscene, because the monster keeps on moving, right? Eventually, the horror disappears because you die instantly. It just feels weird. Oh, I can still dig. Wait. I can still dig. There's more holes. I want to dig more holes. I mean, to be fair, I'm sure they learned, and they're thinking about that for the next game, which I'm very excited for the next game. 0 losses. But I've always wanted to get into people's mindsets of like why do they add that? And again, to be fair, it's hard to make monster interactive portions good, right? I think they had a genuinely novel idea, and maybe, you know what? I take back. It wasn't that they were afraid. Their idea is cool. It's a cool idea to have the monster chase you and you run away from a third-person perspective. It's just really hard to execute. Because you die the first time, you have no clue what's going on, where to go. You have a good sense of it because like, you just need to get away from the monster. But it's unclear, it looks like a cutscene. If you're guaranteed to die, then there's no way to continue on. And so it's what do you do? I get what they were going for. Even if it didn't work, at least they tried. It's a cool mechanic. There's no more shit on the thing. Okay, cool. That's nice. That's cool. They tried. It didn't pass muster, but they tried. It's a cool mechanic. It's one of the few ways that makes a chase both incredibly frightening because you feel out of control of your character, but also incredibly immersive too because it's like, oh man, you're looking at it from a whole new perspective. How to fix these windows? I have got to fix these windows. Funny watching my opinion change as I reflect. I'm sorry, I'm not static. At least my opinion changes as I think about it more, okay? Look, I'm just saying, it is nice. It's just, like, the more that I think about it, the more I realize how cool it is, and so it's like, why wouldn't you want that in your game? It's just unfortunate that it doesn't work. But it is cool. Just very unfortunate. Hey, you know what? Take this as a sign that you should always take in new information and change yourself to become a better person. I mean, I don't even know if you can hear me at the moment. It's very loud. What now? What now? Hey, why'd you stop spinning? That was fast. That's a lot faster than usual. Oh god. Uh-huh. You know, some people wonder why Willem Dafoe was staring at the lights, but I get it. You just get so attracted by the look and the feel of it. You can't help but want to stare at it. Why does it die? Why did it die again? Shutting off my goddamn lights. It's my light time. My time to be with my lights. We really are just giant moths. I would stare at a light bulb for a long time. Cause hey, something nice about staring at them lights. Something nice about staring at those lights and wondering what goes on with them. Just keep walking. Watch your back, watch your front. Watch your back, watch your front, okay? You have to have a good system. So watch your back and your front at the same time. Always keep your back to the wall. Shimmy up the side. Lighthouse. To get to the very top. Here we go. Here we go. Oh yeah, so nice and bright. This is what I love. This is it. This is what I crave. The urge to stand on top of a lighthouse as it spins, and the lights just spinning out into the world. Son of a bitch! Alright, listen, buddy. This is my fucking lighthouse. Stop messing with my goddamn lighthouse. You left the job. It's my turn now. God, it sucks. It's, why is it so dark all of a sudden? Wait, my lamp is gone. Oh no. Oh no, my lamp is gone. Yeah. It took away all the oil. Oh god, I'm in the basement now. Oh god. Hi. Thank you for the oil. I appreciate the oil. I'm going to go now. I'll leave you alone, sorry. Didn't mean to bother you, sorry. I didn't mean to bother you, sorry. I just want the oil. Appreciate, taking the oil. Sorry about that. You know, it's scary because you want to scream at the monster, but I read a line in the webtoon once and we go, oh yeah, it was solo leveling. The innate desire, that fear, that innate instinct to be not prey in the face of an overwhelming predator. To stay quiet and let the creature kind of ignore you and forget about you. Flies have it easy. Same with mosquitoes. They can eat the blood of a monster or of like any creature and they're fine. And they'll never be bothered by it. Flies eat the trash and they're perfectly fine. Oh god. Jesus Christ. Compare that to, say, I don't know. Anything. What the fuck is that? Oh, my meat. All my shit's on the floor. God damn it. Yeah, dreams are the only thing you can do against a monster is scream back at it. That's rude. I don't think I would even be able to do that. I feel like even screaming back at it would be too much. As if now it's aware of where you are and who you are and what you're up to. As if it's going to see you and come after you. I'd rather it has no clue that I'm there. I'd rather hide away in the corner and be like a wallflower or a fly, you know? It's hopefully have ignored me. Like this thing. Whatever it is, breaking my flow, my mojo. Hello? Wait a minute. What the hell happened here? What's water? Oh, the tide rose. Oh. Jesus Christ. I will attack you. I will attack you with the hammer. I'm glad this game doesn't give you any tools to fight back with. You'd feel a little too safe, I think. As it stands, I feel just a commoner. As if I'm not one. Just like a person who's just living their life trying to build and keep things going. You feel unsafe in so many different ways. Oh god. I don't even want to think about what's out here. Okay, smart move. My character fixes things from the indoors only. That's good. Genius. Yes. I do like the idea of a simple, idyllic home like this that's very easy to maintain. Just a couple of shelves that you can fix at any moment, doing whatever, you know, with whatever tools that you have. The reality is that modern day housework, in many ways, has gotten away from that because there's so much like weird random shit that can kill you. Like electricity. Now what's on my rooftop? Oh, I guess what's not on my rooftop. Last time there was blood or something here. Like there was like a, I don't know, like a vestige of something. There was more here. I don't know if I can do this. You know, I thought maybe, right? But then, like, yeah, like, this is what it would feel like on a day-to-day basis. Aside from the monster noises, you wouldn't hear anything. In a normal, average day, living alone like this, taking care of a lighthouse on a random island in the middle of fucking nowhere, this is all you would hear. Silence. Where is the sun? There was a chain noise too. Why was there a chain noise? What? Oh, I guess I buried the bird. Sure. Okay. Yeah, let's eat some stew. I like stew. Let's have some stew then. What? I'm missing one. I knew I messed up somewhere. I knew I messed up. But damn it. It was the digging portion. You had to dig more things. Let's just have some stew. I'm just gonna eat some stew here, okay? Sit down on my chair, eat some stew. Can I sit in my chair and eat some stew? No? Where am I gonna eat the stew? This is like somebody taking... Where am I gonna take this? What am I gonna do with the stew? You know what? Eat on the rooftop. Fine. Go. Eat on the rooftop. Just sit here. No, but I have to light the lighthouse. Oh god. Okay, maybe the monster likes stew. Like stew? Hello? My music is still playing, so I feel happy. It's all back here now. What? Oh, my light. Oh my god. Hey! You want some stew? Oh god, that effect freaks me the fuck out. Oh god, that effect is messing me up so hard. If I just stand here and I look at this, what happens? Maybe even my character is freaked out. You know? No, I'm okay. No, I'm good. I don't want any, new, I don't want the grocery store deals. I'm okay. I'm fine. It's like, we as the player are going through this, but our character player is going through all of this live in real time. They're suffering from this now. So of course they want to eat their, like, stew at the top of the tower where it's safe. I don't want to be back in my room either. Where there's light, it feels safe. Nice. You pull out the stew, eat it. What am I supposed to do with the stew? No, pick up the oil can. No, don't just leave it. Oh god, I really didn't want to do anything. I know my heart rate has calmed down, but it's because I'm not breathing anymore. As if to pretend to be closer to death keeps me further away from it. But in the end, it does nothing. And I can't even eat my stew, which is the worst part. I can't even eat the stew. I have to suffer. I have to wait for the monster to eat me and just suffer. What was that? I never did the job with no music. Like taking out my noise cancelling headphones and realizing that someone's talking to me. There's more going on here. Do you hear that? Oh god. Please touch the floor. Please hit the floor. Hear what? Thank god. What was that? It's like somebody dropped something in the front of the door or something. What was that? Just waiting for it to drop. We'll reel it back up. And then we'll go. This is such a slow burn experience. If there were no monster parts, I actually think that this would be amazing. Because then you just don't know what the hell is going on. It really does feel like the monster is misplaced in this game. Like, I feel like this is the experience. Just this. You sit here, you do this, you're stuck here. You're waiting, and it's like, what are you waiting for? You don't even know half the time. You're waiting for the day to end for you to finally be able to close your eyes and just fall right into a slumber and to never wake up. Just to be awake is almost to suffer. The horrors of the night. Almost done. It's almost done. It's almost done dropping. It's almost done. It's almost done. Right here. The monsters are friends we made along the way. That's what it wants you to think. It really does feel like this is the safest place. Again, I feel like the oil tank being so far away was a mistake. What was that? Not in terms of the game design, but in terms of like the I'm talking about the architecture, okay? All things related must be kept in the same place. Why would you leave your tools and armaments so far away? And again, the video that I watched of the last lighthouse keeper was way happier. She seemed way much more happier and bright. Like there were like people hanging out with her. People hung out around the home. This is not the same thing. Wait, it's done. It's like stuck or something. Why is it stuck? Why is it stuck down here? What happened? Why is it stuck? Did I go back inside? Oh my god, what the hell was that? Hey man, I'm gonna need that key. That's company property. I'm gonna need you to give that key back. That is company property, and I need you to bring it back. Just keep going. I'm dead. Oh my god. And I'm assuming a repeat to the new day. It's all the same thing over and over again. Previous keeper disappeared. Yeah, that's a terrifying experience. Oh, Jesus. Oh, no. Oh, God. My lamp. Oh, my lamp. What's interesting is that I survived. Am I the only one to have survived this place? What in God's name is this? What do you mean there's an underground sits? What is this? It's like a citadel. What the hell is this? What was that? Hello? Hello? Hey, I'm sorry, okay? I didn't want to... I don't want to be here either, okay? I'm just here because it was a part-time contract. They offered $6 an hour. I could have sent my kid to college with those funds. And bought a home. Moths. What the hell is this? Why am I holding this? Why did I decide to hold this? Oh, jeez. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Where am I even going? What is my purpose here? Oh, God. Maybe I did make it. Maybe I'm the only one to make it out. It feels like I'm alive. And the boat is here. Hey, the boat's here. Oh my God, get it. You have it free. There's stuff here too. There's a bunch of things here. What a beautiful sunset. The juxtaposition between what we just saw and what we just went through, and the mysteries of like what was under the lighthouse, contrasted with this. And it's so vague as to make you wonder what is going on. But I mean, much time has passed. I can see that. Many people live here. All kinds of things. We still haven't moved the thing to make the lighthouse easier. But I'm the only one. There's a village. Oh yes, there's a village. I don't feel alone. I feel happy. But there's no lighthouse. Oh, there is. The lighthouse is healing. It's healing. He has no feelings. This thing was never safe. It was never healing. Can't heal what isn't even alive. Oh God. I'm the captain. Take my key, I guess. Where'd all the lights go? Hello? Hey, Jesus Christ, hello. The sun is no longer visible, and the lighthouse is still unlit. Where's the new keeper gone? I don't know. Why are you here? The sun is no longer visible, and the lighthouse still isn't lit. Where's the new keeper gone? What do you see in the lighthouse light that is so suddenly hidden from us? You see something, don't you? There's like people here. They're questioning me. Whereas the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead also. In the sweat of your face shall you eat bread, till you return unto the ground. For out of it was you taken, for dust you are, and unto dust shall you return. Behold, even to the moon, and yet it shines not. The stars are not pure in its sight. It's weird that they're reciting scripture to me. Behold, I shew you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. It's weird how they're giving me like scripture. And they're telling me all this. And there's a church on the thing now? Wow. I didn't expect this. Of all the things to expect, I really didn't expect this. Where's the new keeper gone? The Lord takes pleasure in them that fear him, and in them that hope in his mercy. That's freaky. Well, I suppose you have your answer now, Chad. People do show up here. They did allow me to take my family. See, the problem with taking a family, right? You immediately now need to start taking care of people. You have to build homes for them. Your kids have kids, so they want their own homes. Then they want to find mates, and all they have is their sibling. It's like, then you have to ship more people in. It's a nightmare. Like, you really don't want to go the way of Charlemagne here. That's a slippery slope. You need to ship more people, unless... Enjoy your iron chin, buddy. Well, even then, I mean, there's statistics. It's like the second generation. I'm not gonna go into it. I know too much about it. But I didn't expect this. It's weird how a society is formed around it. I'm telling everyone almost to wake up. It's time to look at the light. Look at the light. Praise the light. Stare at it. It's funny too that the game kind of stops the horror elements at some point, and it's just like, yeah, it's time for you to just see what's beyond the lighthouse. Look at the lighthouse. You know, I'm not as scared anymore. Now that there's more people to work with, I feel happier. Why did they lock that up? I guess I'm the keeper now. Sure. Oh. Oh. So I took the dagger. It was all a dream. Oh god. I was hoping for happiness. Maybe not a dream, but a vision? I really can't tell. It wasn't good, that's for sure. That's gone. You know what? That's cruel and absolutely on par for a horror game. to give you a sense of peace, only to rip it away at the final second. Yeah, God, I don't like hallways. Hello? Hello? Please don't scare me. Check your corners. We're clear. It's a great piece. It's a very great piece. Yeah. Because it gives you that warmth. That hope. And it rips it away and it feels so empty afterwards. It's so good. Oh my God, it's the creatures. They're inside the pods. What am I really keeping here? Oh my God, there are hundreds of them. They're all inside these. Hey. That's, You're the oil, aren't you? Well, we found the oil. Yeah, cocoons, yeah. All the things around here. Now we see the source of the creatures, too. It's such a good effective piece, too, because it's like... It's showing you that everything that we've done so far has been to play into this creature's desires. Oh my God. Nothing we've been doing has been for a simple job. It's just been to... Oh, it's like born from the stomach of it. And then the oil that we use for it all, the reason why the monster was down there and why it refilled these canisters almost, was to give us more for later. Oh, yeah. Oh. Who are you? Oh, I thought this was a cutscene. I was just waiting for something to like happen. I was like, what's going on here? The whole village is staring at it. It's nice. Definitely makes you think, wonder what's going on. It's weird how the time and everything feels very loose. Like, who are we in relation to this period of time? The character that we were originally before. And what are we doing here now? Very interesting. Yeah, almost like a daze, yeah. Why'd that move? So, what do you guys think about this lighthouse now? Here, you. Like what I've done with the place? Hello? All the church. I think the game sets a good example. For what? There, I guess there's no more tokens, eh? I'm curious what the token thing is for the center of the chest. And what's inside of that chest? I'm also very curious, like, where did these people come from? Or were they always here, just in their own space almost? Like that idea of time being very manipulative. Or rather, there being two different planes almost. Oh god. Hey. Don't lose your mind from the loneliness. And honestly, the question too is like, if any of this is even real. To lose your mind to imagine entire buildings and people talking to you, I don't know how. Could it really get that bad? I guess it could. Because we could still be in that basement by that statue. There's an end to darkness and searches out all perfection. The stones of darkness and the shadows of death. First thing we see is the old lighthouse keeper, then he gets killed, and then we switch characters. Yeah, but what's the example that you're talking about? To me, that just feels like you just described the plot of the game. Don't lose your mind from loneliness. Of switching characters. Oh, of switching characters. Yeah. I think so. I guess so. It's an interesting method of doing it. Hey, lovely. Dig. Yeah, I know. I know about digging. I just... okay. Well, oops. Maybe I should have dug something. That's unfortunate. What was that? A bit late for that now, I guess. A bit late for that now. No, I don't want to do this again. Like, where are you even in relation to this character? Oh, wait, that's lighthouse token. Oh. I see it. It's right there. Cocoon? What? Oh, wait, there's two different ones. There's a lighthouse and a cocoon token. I guess this is where you would get all the tokens if you missed them. This is an interesting model. You use this as like a way to give you the tokens that you may have missed, or rather to do the recollection process again from the statues. One thing about the switching character thing that's interesting about this game is that you're not just switching characters. It's like it's taking quite literally the idea of you switching perspectives as a whole. Very different from just switching characters, which is nice. I will say it's very difficult to parse unless you're really paying attention though. Like there's a lot of intricacies with the different ways the characters interact across space almost. Because even that idea of using the shovel, because I didn't do it, what changes? Now the body is still down there or something? Untouched, undisturbed. And what happens then? It's gonna kill me. One of these ways is a dead end. We're at the dead end. Okay, that's a good. Here we go. Oh, fuck, I'm dead. Okay, this is kind of annoying. The maze is kind of annoying. You have to go sleep now. No worries, chat. You can just leave. It's fine. There's never pressure to stay. Hope you enjoy the ending. Thanks. Peace out. This doesn't feel very good to do this segment. It's very frustrating to have to, like, keep track of the monster. It moves in a fairly strict pattern. But if you mess up even once, and you mess up, like, timing, you have to redo the entire thing. The one thing that isn't clear is when it starts to move. Like, now it's moving, right? What does that change necessarily? Come here, come here. Yeah. Come here, try to eat me, come here. Oh, it goes through walls. Oh. Yeah, there's a lot of gamey elements about this game that feel very, weak. It's weird because it's like, you wouldn't think it'd be that weak, but... It's because you have so little control over what happens and what you can do to almost counteract things that you end up being... feels like you're more at the mercy of a system than you're actually trying to do things. It's strange to explain. That's what it feels like. Can't climb back up though. So where do I go? What is my move at this point? And it's vague when it comes to the story, which is good. But vague when it comes to the gameplay feels a bit frustrating because it's like, what are your next steps almost? Oh, good. And it's interesting learning about what's going on here. Especially with this like whole shifting bit, where it feels like we're different characters all at the same time. But it's just having to deal with the monster bits that makes me go, Vagaries when you're dealing with creatures doesn't ever feel good, I don't think. Or with like gameplay elements where you need to be very precise and tight on timings and like loops and stuff. Because then it feels more like you're fighting a system rather than playing with the system. And I wonder if it's almost so vague to the point where I can see how people wouldn't really like it because it feels almost unsatisfying when it's so vague. Not to say that it's a bad thing. I think it's really good with what it's done and what it's attempted to like do. And I think it nailed it in my eyes. Of what it's trying to sort of tell. But there is that bit of like, you have to extrapolate a lot to understand the point of you being someone in that weird basement zone, and then you all of a sudden being here as this person. There's a lot to do and to think of and to figure out for you to connect this side of things with that side of things. Which is nice, because not many games let you sort of just think about things anymore. A lot of games tend to push you towards, I think, having to know things very, very clearly. Where it feels like games just sort of give too much information. So this is good. It does make you wonder why I did that. Or rather, who is our player character that had to basically be stuck down here? Because who we are, it feels very, very divorced from the rest of the game. Now, at least, it feels like we're almost in a whole different realm of being. Because this doesn't exist under the lighthouse, and in like a very traditional way. I don't think. I don't think it's there in a physical space. I think it's there in a very metaphorical, almost like spatial sense, a very temporal sense. And so it makes you wonder what happens to me and what are the effects of my actions elsewhere. Because with those 4 tokens, I'm assuming I can open the chest. But what does that lead to? And maybe you were always supposed to get the tokens like that. You were never supposed to get them elsewhere. Oh god. Oh yeah. The texture does a great job of looking alien. And that should be where I came from, I think. Yeah, but this really does look like a giant focusing tower of some sort. Just a machine of inconceivable proportions. And the statues that exist here, it's interesting to see that they look like people, but they're not too. But then there's a thing about the note, right? The note with the shovel, with the shovel does reveal that we are that same person in both places. Oh god, I think this might be that first. You didn't make it, did you? Oh boy. Was that stupid of me to step off there? Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck! Oh, I'm dead. Yeah, that was death. So, if I had survived that, what would have happened? Because now I'm dropping off. Now I'm the person dropping me off from before. What would have changed had I survived that entire encounter? It's weird how this could have gone in so many different ways. Oh god, well I guess we're gonna see all of them. Open the door! I know you're there! Open the door. I know you're there, open the door. Why is everything glowing so red? Oh dear god. I'm at the bottom of the pit. Oh god. It's as if we're the same person in all 3 different places. And we're all connected by being the lighthouse keeper. Or we're connected by being like somebody who's put these events into reality. Where is he? Open up! No one's willing to tell me where he is. My character is dying in pain down here. The person that came to the place is dying in pain down here. From all of this. But maybe we're just meant to see it from different perspectives. It's that level of vagary that's like interesting to think about because it leaves it so open to interpretation. Who these characters were. And it gives deeper insight, but it also makes you wonder like, is it meant to be interpreted that way? Is that the question of like, what is the correct answer? Maybe there is no correct answer. It's just what you make of it. It's a very fascinating horror game. I actually really like it. What's going on? Open the damn door! Oh. Be careful with him. He'll be alright. He needs some rest. The keeper is out of his mind. He drinks all day and wanders around the island, chasing that kid of him. He has forgotten who he is and why he's here. Soon he'll remember. Let's bring him back to the sanctuary. Oh God. It's like a life of suffering down here, barely being alive. Oh, I'm awake. Wait. Oh. So the figure that we saw on the beach that night, the figure that popped out from under the boats, everything that happened, it was the result of somebody. It was always the result of somebody. It was always somebody real. The person who pops out from under there, it's not the person that's stuck downstairs, but it's somebody. It's almost as if we're seeing all the time sort of being crunched together. And so everything impacts some other timeline. It's fascinating. Because we know for sure that the lighthouse keeper that we came with and that we replaced was old. But if you looked at the first lighthouse keeper, the cracks in the window were there too. And that's when the moths came. There's no way they fixed the cracks on the window that fast, right? Like that doesn't make sense. Same cracks happened to us. But who is this character in relation to everyone else? The fact that we're coughing implies that we're old in some way. We're not really fit and we're not really ready to go on and to move around. Like our character can't really do much. And there's no way that we're the same person all throughout, because the person that we were before originally is stuck at the bottom. They're there for good, with all the different monsters and stuff. With all the creatures doing something. In that weird place, that weird temple. And we know that they're distinct, because the lighthouse keeper in the more populated version of this in the future, they recognize, like the villagers mentioned that they were missing their kid. They're looking for that kid of his. Just can't find it. And this is back when the meat was still on the table. This is when things were still good. Keep the Holy Cross there. Alright. And this is when they first came to the island. Can I use the Holy Cross or no? Guess not. This is when I first came here. And the lighthouse is running, which means my character should come back home soon. I should be home soon. But who am I? And now I'm the creature. And I live in the lighthouse. This explains why last time there was so much oil on the walls too. and why the oil was going down and down like a certain pathway. We're just redoing everything again, but now we see the perspective of what these things were from last time. I broke the game. Oh my god. And that's why the line was cut too. We did all of this. Whatever this creature was did all of this. Fascinating. This is a very interesting approach to the storytelling. It's like we're seeing the gestation cycle of a creature. We're understanding what exactly this creature is and where it comes from. It comes from people. It gets in. It pops out from your body. It's why the statues look like they did down there, with all the bug legs coming out of them. It's very Kafkaesque. It's extremely Kafkaesque, actually. And it's who we were. We were chasing this person. We were chasing me. This is when I was running down into here and when I turned into some random hallway. It's why too that creature looked like the way that it did. It looked like a person. It was always meant to look like a person. Because it comes from people. And those runes that pop up, it's like an order given to us. We have to do this. We have to chase me down. Same here. And they said to one another, "Behold, this dreamer comes. Come now therefore, and let us slay him, and cast him into some pit. We will say, some evil beast hath devoured him, and we shall see what will become of his dreams." Did I succeed? By accident, did I succeed by killing him? It's so fascinating to use the writing as if it was scripture too. Such a strange and interesting way of using that prose, specifically that prose, the way that they speak. And they took Joseph's coat and killed a kid of the goats, and dipped the coat in the blood. And they sent the coat of many colors. And they brought it to their father and said, "This have we found. Know now whether it be thy son's coat or no." These are all the lighthouse keepers that were killed. It's why we were almost traveling through time. In a way, we succeeded where all of our past lives didn't. Which is odd. We were the one to make it out compared to the rest of us at that time. Oh, they're going to their home. I thought they were going to stop at the shed. I was gonna catch them by the shed, but I guess I failed. It's interesting how you're almost judged on your performance as both the bug and the people. I wonder again, what would have changed? Had I succeeded, what would have changed there? And what's different between all of these? In the mirror, too, we saw that these were two different characters. The old man that we saw in the mirror versus the one who came here, those were two very different characters. So everyone that's dying is almost a different incarnation of us. Fascinating. And then it makes you wonder, who is the bug? The original, or was it us? But then you see that, and it makes you wonder, okay, well, who are we even? Who are we even really? Because in that sort of like happy timeline, that thing was closed off, and now it's not. What an interesting game. I guess happy is a bit subjective, but... it's why we were chasing me. He has a gun? We just keep strafing him until he runs out of ammo. We just keep strafing until we can finally kill him. Just keep strafing. That is so interesting. And now we're back inside the church. And now we see what is the purpose of the church, and where they put that person, the person in this timeline, with all the red inside the houses, wondering where is his child. The moon, the emperor, the tarot cards, the lover, the star, the hanged man, and the wheel of fortune. Welcome to the Oblivion Chapel. Again. For the 1000th time, you and I had the same dream, human. Don't lie to yourself. You still have no right to change your own nature and can no longer obey the voice of Lord or his angels. You have failed the trial as you were failed again. And your sin is in defiling the sanctuary, in false service, and poisoning your mind. Only repentance will bring you peace. Keep your chambers as if it were the Lord's temple. And repentance is coming. For the path of everyone born ends takes a star of Bethlehem out of the ground, and repentance is coming. Keep your chambers as if it were the Lord's temple, and repentance is coming. The wheel of fortune churn and remind you of your true self, and repentance is coming. Your chambers as if the Lord's temple, where the path of everyone born ends to start Bethlehem. Wheel of fortune churning and the star of Bethlehem. It's fascinating to know that we're in this cycle. It's fascinating to know that we failed in this endless dream amongst each other, between each other. The wheel of fortune, the star of Bethlehem, let the wheels churn and remind you of your true self. Who are we? Oh, a bit scary here. Oh, yeah. This is the first one. This is the original lighthouse keeper. Or rather, we were always the original lighthouse keeper. What an interesting game. What a genuinely interesting game. I feel like at the end there, telling us that we were in that cycle, that was a bit too much exposition. I feel like that moment, not being able to talk to the thing, I don't think you should have been able to like talk to it. But that's probably the only way that they could have thought of to like convey to you, hey, do it correct this time. Go to the basement and find everything. Because that's the only way that you can stop the cycle. You're bringing the lighthouse keeper there and back and there and back. One day I had a weird dream. In it, you and I are sitting at a table. Everything seems normal, but something is not right. In this dream, I see myself through your eyes. I'm telling you something, but you're distracted and do not listen. Has someone come? No, nobody could. When you turn around, you notice that I have disappeared. Get up and go into the room because you know that I'm hiding from you there. As you walk, you try to remember what I told you. It's complicated. What was I telling you? Was it something important? I told you that I had a strange dream, but you did not listen. In this dream, I was you, but you were not my son. You enter the room, but I am not there. There's an open book in the corner. Welcome back, Chad. There are a few words on the page. The previous keeper disappeared. It's the beginning of the game again. It's who that person was. This is a very interesting game. It feels, again, it's very, very vague in many different ways, right? And then to say almost that we had to live in this turmoil of repentance. And it makes you realize who the characters are. The old man was the father, we are the son. But the son was also the lighthouse keeper that came to the island originally. But they were the one who was bringing them over. We were the original person there. And we died because of the father's actions. And so all that time living through that horror of running the lighthouse, it was a cycle. We were sort of like condemned there. We were seeking repentance, right? It's the idea of an endless cycle of guilt, and for you to try and figure out what is the purpose of it all, and how to sort of repent and move on from that guilt. It can't happen. And this is why the statues look like the way that they do, because the statues were a representation of our first churning. It's why those tokens were there as well. It's why we failed, I think, here. I think we failed here. Because we were supposed to end it, the cycle, by killing the creature, by being worse than it was. But we simply succeeded. And who we were at that timeline was the closest that we ever came to succeeding in breaking that cycle. And so what was under the lighthouse was real. It wasn't just a figment of our imagination. It wasn't just something. It was some being that we're in constant struggle with. Between me and them. There's still some vagaries around. Sort of whether or not that's exactly what it should be, or like exactly the way that you're meant to sort of understand it as. But you're in the light is enough. You thought the thing. Huh. For instance, I can't really confirm any of that. And surely, I mean, there must be a different way to finish the game. Like, this is a very, very interesting game because there's multiple endings to it. And see, you can keep on going. There has to be something even more. Something that I'm missing a much deeper ending to it. But I kind of just want to leave it there for now. I'm going to come back to this eventually and figure out exactly what the final ending is, but there's a lot of complexity with the story and what it's trying to tell. It's a very, very interestingly vague way of telling a story that works well for horror games. The monster bits are the weakest part, but I understand why the monster bits were the way that they were now. And again, it even relates to that final story of seeing everything through his eyes, not really understanding what he was saying. It's that same feeling as if when we were running away from the monster too. What's unclear is sort of the objectives or the goals, right? Still, I'm still trying to figure out where we're supposed to kill him, where we're supposed to fail, where we're supposed to die as the monster, who was supposed to win. But maybe that's not the point. Maybe we were always supposed to be in the cycle of something. It's fascinating. This game is beautiful. And I can see exactly the problems with it, but also the joys of it. And I think all the joys of it vastly outweigh the problems. And I see why people told me to play this game. I really, really love this, actually. As vague as it is, you're left wanting more, and you're left feeling like you don't really understand it. And it's because you're missing things. And the game tells you very clearly that you're missing something with that final talk with that statue, that exposition moment. And you kind of wonder where it could go beyond that. What kind of answers it could give you. And we'll get to that eventually, but I think for now, this is a good spot to end it with, honestly. This is a very interesting experience. It's a very slow burn experience. It's very much unlike any other horror game out there. And it feels almost Silent Hill coded. The way that Silent Hill is not really about those moments that freak you out. It's about the tricks that your mind plays on you. And what happens when you're in a setting that specifically invites that kind of behavior from your psychological self. What a great game. And that's it for No One Lives Under the Lighthouse. I'll figure out what that final ending really is at some point. Sometime soon, maybe.